Hi, and welcome back to Three and Out with Chris Spielman. I'm Mike O'Hara, and once again, we're brought to you by the good people of Comerica. And Chris Spielman, a little different setting for the Detroit Lions. You were there live at Soldier Field on Sunday for the Detroit Lions 34-30 win over the Chicago Bears and a successful launch of the Darrell Bevell regime as assistant head coach. You were there for the production meetings for the Fox network. You were there for the game and broadcast it on Sunday. Just give us the vibe of the whole thing. What was it like leading up to it, talking to Darrell? How did he feel? How did the players react? And in general, what was your takeaway?
Well, I think it was evident. Being an interim head coach that Coach Bev is, what a great job he did getting these guys ready to go and assuming all the head coaching responsibilities during the week, getting the game plan ready, and then also introducing himself or getting some of the defensive players to actually work hand in hand with him. I thought it was a great job by Coach Bevel. His whole staff and the players responded to him. And the difference to me, I mean, I was there 2 weeks ago in Carolina. I watched the Thanksgiving game. And the difference to me is that these guys were playing without pressure. It just seemed like they were just having fun. And I know that's been a kind of a buzzword and energy and all that is, but it was true. And so it was evident. And when we talked to Coach Bev on Saturday morning, his excitement about his opportunity, he was going to make the most of it. And the players responded to that. And they're playing without pressure. And it seemed like they played a lot looser and not so uptight, which I think an argument could be made that they did that against the Panthers and the Titans in their recent history.
The Bears just kind of dangled the lead 16-6, 30-20, whatever it was, and the Lions fighting to get back. And here's where it kind of starts. We go in the fourth quarter, 30-20 lead for the Chicago Bears. Everson Griffin gets a sack. Break it down. Tell us what you see.
Well, when you play Everson Griffin, you know that he's got a speed rush. Okay, so and you know his number one counter, and I think I pointed this out in the previous broadcast when they did the Panthers, is he likes this little spin move. And the only way that works is that he's working on Charles Leno there. He gets him turned upfield. Watch Leno's shoulders. His shoulders get turned to the sidelines. By that, Everson has him in a position to throw that spin move on him because he's in bad position. He's leaning forward. He's not sitting in a chair like an offensive lineman's supposed to sit. And it's the perfect setup. And he has a great spin move. He turns back inside. And lo and behold, right when he turns back inside, the target is there, which is Mitchell Trubisky. And when you look at offensive linemen, look at number 74. You want to kind of have that sitting in the chair position. Leno Jr.'s knees are straight and his shoulders are over his knees. He's in trouble. Everson set him up with the spin move and is able to converge with great speed and make a big play for his teammates with a big sack.
Well, that forces a punt and a good one down to the 4-yard line. The Detroit Lions are 96 yards away from the end zone. They start the possession with an incomplete pass, but 6 plays later, a 25-yard touchdown pass to Marvin Jones Jr. Chris Spielman, break it down. Tell us what you see.
I don't understand the coverage. Now, there's got to be a miscommunication. You got half coverage, which is cover 2 down here. You got quarters coverage where the safety is up a little bit more. If you're going to play the quarters coverage, a corner, number 33, has to be inside of Marvin Jones, especially if that safety's sitting. And the other thing 33 has to know is not let anybody go over his head or get behind him. So Matthew's going to see that safety sit. Once that safety sits and he sees that corner start to sit, he knows where Marvin Jones is going. And that ball is released as soon as he reads that safety sitting, and it's just a mismatch. So I think, first of all, that might be a little bit of a mental error between the safety and the corner. Somebody's not on the same page. One of them is wrong. But anytime you see that safety sitting, that puts that corner in a vulnerable position, and all Matthew does have to lead Marvin Jones a little bit inside, and it's not. There's no way that corner can cover that. I was actually surprised that it was that easy, and what a game that Marvin Jones had yesterday. Good for him.
Well, that makes it 30-27, and there's work to do. The Bears get the ball back on the ensuing kickoff, and it's 3rd and 4. But break it down. Romeo Okwara gets another sack, a strip sack, and John Pennicini, a rookie 6th-round draft pick, who I remember you liked on draft day. He was very unheralded and not much known about him. Break it down, Chris. Tell us what you see in this game-deciding play.
Before you run it, let's talk about scouting report. They know that Mitchell Trubisky has trouble protecting the ball in the pocket. Last week against Green Bay, he also got strip sacked. So that's the thing that these guys, Everson and all the front four, and anybody that's a pass rusher understands that. So watch Romeo Okwara on this. The one thing, he has a good get off. Now, the other thing is watch his arms. Look at his arms get inside. And when you're inside and you can bench press that guy and create separation, you're in a power position. So you can move that guy backwards, exactly what he's doing. Trubisky doesn't see him in the individual effort, knowing that he's not going to get the sack, but also being able to swing that left arm around there and attack that football is just an awesome individual effort by these Lions. And, you know, I think for Lions fans, the best thing about this whole game, look, it wasn't a phenomenal defensive performance. But what do we always talk about? All of the games, especially Lions games, where 90% of them will come down to the fourth quarter, and it's who makes a play when a play needs to be made. We saw Everson Griffin make a play for his offense when a play needed to be made. And this was huge because Romeo Okwara makes a play when one needs to be made. It doesn't matter if the Bears had 190 yards rushing and 500 yards passing. They're still in it, and the guy makes a play for his teammates on a great individual effort. Pennicini's there for the cover-up. And, you know, if you're a Lions fan, you can see. Look at the joy now. Oh, God. I mean, we see a happy bunch of Detroit Lions. I mean, that's something I think that, you know, wasn't always present. And at least Sunday on the sidelines, because up in the press box, I was watching after a good play or after a bad play, how the whole sideline would react. And it was just a different feel. And if you're a Lions fan and being an ex-player in the next line, I'm happy for those guys that they were able to have some success, and especially on the defensive side of the ball, which I don't care the number. I don't care the score 30. I don't care the number of yards. In the NFL, it comes down to the last 10 minutes of the fourth quarter and who's going to make a play when one needs to be made, and two guys stepped up and did it.
For you fans out there, I remember hearing all this in front of Chris Spielman's locker dating back to 1988 when he was a rookie with the Detroit Lions. And I haven't forgotten it, and neither has he. Now, Chris, there's a recovery there at the 7-yard line. They get in two plays, both runs by Adrian Peterson. They get the touchdown for 34-30 lead. And I say lead because the game's not over. There's still work to do. The Bears are driving the ball, and who knows what's going to happen. We've seen the Lions give up leads before. Hello, opening day against the Chicago Bears, but it's 4th and 1 at the 20-yard line. Handoff to David Montgomery. Break it down. Tell us what you see on this big play by Kevin Strong.
The previous play set this opportunity up because it was a mental error by Allen Robinson. The corner of Detroit fell, and Robinson had a little 3 or 4 yard out. All he had to do was turn upfield. It's a first down. The Bears keep their drive alive. Okay, but Robinson loses track of where he is on the field, steps out of bounds when nobody was near him. It was a mental error. That's all it was. And that's what happens with teams that are struggling to win ball games. There's mental errors all over the place, or it's always the little things. Now, to this play, 4th and 1. What are we talking about? It doesn't matter the score. It doesn't matter what happened in all the previous plays. It's coming down to this play. First of all, the get off. Look who's first off the ball. Watch number 92. Defensive linemen work on this stuff all the time. Look, he's the first guy off the ball. Now, he's a little high, but it doesn't matter because, no pun intended, he's so strong. He's able to get off his block, defeat his man, and make a great individual effort. And that's what needed to happen. I mean, somebody has to step up and make a play, and he did it. And so they should be excited about that. And I don't know what his responsibility is, but I'm going to assume he's going to be into the A gap. He actually jumps around and goes into the wrong gap here, in my opinion. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm just telling you. But because of his get off is so strong and he changes that line of scrimmage, he's going to slip behind. Watch him slip behind number 64. And by him slipping behind him, he's able to cut down the angle because he belongs in the gap. See the hole there? There's a hole there. But his individual effort beats his man one-on-one, and he makes a great tackle to seal the deal for the Detroit Lions.
And he gets a little help finish it from his teammates. There's a long delay while they measure it. I don't know how many times they measured. It looked like they're getting measured for a handmade suit, but whatever it was, it holds up. Game over. Lions get a kneel down. Everybody's happy. A locker room celebration. Matthew Stafford gives the game ball to Darrell Bevell. Before we wrap it up here, Chris Spielman, going forward, what does it mean to Darrell Bevell? What does it mean to the Detroit Lions going into next week's game against Green Bay Packers at Ford Field?
I think if you're a Lions fan and you'd like to see guys, like I root for all guys. I feel bad for the Bears. I mean, that's a tough loss, but I feel happy for the Lions because they were able to do something under difficult circumstances. And I'm happy for Coach Bevell that he had an opportunity in his debut. He's 1-0, and congratulations to them. But guess what? Feel good maybe till about 2:00 on Monday. Then let's start dialing in on the next opponent. And they got a really tough schedule coming up, Mike. Tough 4-game stretch coming.
Well, Chris Spielman, that's 1 down, 4 to go. And the next one is next Sunday, kickoff 4:25, Green Bay Packers at Ford Field. We'll be back next Monday to break it down, win, lose, and maybe if there's a tie.